Hello, Frugal Force. This is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, and today I'm going to be reviewing none other than Jawbreakers Lost Souls. And yep, I have the t-shirt here too, by the way. Ching. Doing my part. If you haven't seen the picture, I have 5 copies of this. I'm actually going to be giving away some signed copies to Frugal Force members. So there's going to be some giveaways. Now, if you ordered this book through the Indiegogo, you will get this signed copy, okay? And look at this cover. And this, once again, this is Ethan Van Sciver art. Once again, very detailed. Ethan's always known for very, very good detail, so it's a great cover. I would like to say it's a nice stock cover. Good material. The pages are a good material too. This is a good valued strength book. It isn't a cheap assembled comic book, so bear that in mind. Back here, we've got some Jon Malin art here. Awesome. Now this is broken down here. Let's take a look at it. Okay, Lost Souls here, written by Richard C. Meyer.
Yeah, boy.
Line art by Jon Malin. Coloring by Brett Smith. Great coloring in this book too. He often doesn't get enough credit. I hear a lot about Richard C. Meyer and Jon Malin, both excellent, but Brett Smith is not getting enough credit, I think, or attention for doing this book. Excellent work. Lettering by Eric Weathers, also really well done. And then there's also book 1. And this was a redo, I guess, or a touch-up, if you will, of the original. Written by Richard C. Meyer again, your boy Zach. Art lettering by Simon Bennett. Book 2, written by and lettered by Richard C. Meyer, and art by Kelsey Shannon. Also a really nice guy. You should check him out online on Twitter. Whoops, hit the camera. Twitter, Facebook, things like that. I don't know if he's on Facebook. I know he's on Twitter. Very nice guy to chat to. Cover by Ethan Van Sciver in this one, and Kyle Ritter. Jawbreakers logo created by Bob Snow. And then there's a community fan art gallery. We open up right here to this awesome page right at the start. Jon Malin art, great colors, and you'll see that all the way through this book, the art is really. Let me move this up a little bit higher here. There we go. I'm not going to show all the pages there. I mean, but look at this. Good work, Jon Malin. That catches some some attention there. Characterization's good. Okay, there you go. So I did read this, and I will say the artwork is solid all the way through. The coloring is solid all the way through. The writing is very solid all the way through, too, as well. This is a good book. This was a fun read. I know Richard C. Meyer's a big G.I. Joe fan, and it showed up 100% in this book. Definitely a G.I. Joe fan. But I've seen some other classics, 80s elements too. I know he's a big 90s, throwback with this, but there's more elements to that. There's action 80s elements thrown into this too as well. For example, I see a lot of A-Team in this. Especially with their pilot. I'm not going to go into all the details, but the characterization is interesting. Each character is their own. He even plays into a little bit of stereotype, but he does it on purpose. You can tell, and it's done with care. For example, you think like this guy, very stereotypical with the way he words things, but you find out he's incredibly smart, and he doesn't have to talk that way. That's a really cool way of doing it. So here's book 1. Okay, book 1, remastered. It's the remastered version. It really reminds me of G.I. Joe and A-Team. Especially this particular one. He gives information about how it came to be. So it says, you hold in your hands Jawbreakers Book 1 Remastered. A book not so much polished as deconstructed and stripped back to pencil, color, even crayon, and attempt to bring a very different look. And you know what? And he was successful in this. You know, it isn't as polished, of course, as the Lost Souls. Book 1 isn't. But Jon Malin's a terrific artist. I mean, let's give your boy Zach some credit. He did not do bad here, especially for a guy who does not make his career out of artwork. He's tried a lot, probably spent a lot of time. It shows. There's some definite talent here. Okay, and I'm not going to argue about that. There's definite talent in this, but it's just not Jon Malin style art, and that's perfectly okay. It's an interesting story too. So you have that. And, the characterization, once again, is a key point. We're lacking in a lot of books today. It's all about deconstruction, and here it's not. It's building up and learning about these characters. Like we learn about this guy here, Knife Hands, that when he uses his powers, he's actually opening up the possibility of these ninjas to come after him. Right here. Okay, his clan, to drag him back and enslave him. So that's really cool there. Nice little element. And that actually plays off into later on into book 2 as well. So let's turn there, which is right here, book 2, and this is with Kelsey Shannon art. It's a different style than what we've seen in Lost Souls, as well as we've seen in book 1. So we're getting 3 different art styles in 3 different books in this book, and all of them are justifiably good. Interesting, you'll see little tweaks and differences, definitely, but each one has its own distinct style, and each one works. So that's a benefit too, because sometimes you see a book and the art style just doesn't work. This one took me a little bit to get used to with Kelsey Shannon, but once you get used to it, it really works too, because it's a little more cartoonish. And once again, I'm not saying that's bad. I like the cartoonish look. I mean, look at that. Definitely well done. So all 3 match very, very well. And then after that story, 3 stories, I recommend checking them out. I found, let's talk about the stories next. And the artwork we said was great. The stories, I will not say it's the best story I've ever read in my life. That would not be true. But I will say it was a solid story. I have no complaints about the story at all. Bravo to you, Richard C. Meyer. Good job. You put your money where your mouth is, and you won. That's what I can say. It's just better than what you'd be getting from Marvel, guaranteed right now, as well as better than what you'd be getting a lot of DC right now. Grade A stuff, So why waste a ton of money on Marvel books when you could be supporting creators like this? They're definitely working hard to bring you quality. And part of the reason I say that too is not only quality, but they listen. So a lot of people have enjoyed the character Hell Priest, and he lets you know in this book that he has plans for this character later on. Once again, the creator, a content creator, actually listening to the market. What a brilliant idea, right? Here we have some Silkworm here, Ethan Van Sciver and Nico, sorry. Giving a little information there. Cool. Once again, look at that cover art there in black and white. Ethan Van Sciver, always tons of detail. Here's another picture of fan art from the community gallery. This is much more of a cartoon kind of vibe. And see, it says the influences for Jawbreaker are probably obvious to most. G.I. Joe, we definitely see it. Expendables, we definitely see it. Team 7, sure. As well as franchises like the Guardians of the Galaxy. And as I say too, the A-Team is definitely here as well. So we have some 80s, and we have 80s throwback style action as well as 90s style action. It was even mentioned, this character here, and this was drawn by Sashi. She was entered more into the book, and her character was developed more because people liked her so much. So once again, the comic book publisher and maker actually listening to the market. Who would have thought? And once again, a different style of art as well. Another one. And every page here, by the way, these are the art styles, is Richard C. Meyer praising other people to care enough about the characters that he created to take the time to draw them. How cool is that? So very, very good. Making Jawbreakers, Lost Souls has been an incredible adventure. This book exists because more than 10,000 people made it happen. And we're just getting started. Expect more stories about the Jawbreakers in the very near future, along with other exciting stories from Splato Comics. This book means a lot to me and is meant to be shared with friends, family, and even strangers. Please let me know what you thought about it. And Richard, I'm letting you know right now, I think this was a fun book. Good job, bravo. The artwork was good through and through. The story was good through and through. The quality of the book, definitely good and solid. And by the way, it says, it's meant to be shared, so I've got 4 other copies that are going to be shared with other people. So I think this is just the start of what we're going to be seeing. Well, there was Iron Sights too, from some Splato Comics. Good job, Richard. Hats off to you. Good work. Frugal Force approved. Alright, well, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go to the Patreon down below if you want to help out. There's a link there for as little as $1 a month. Tell Richard, your boy Zach, about this video. Let him know that the Frugal Force appreciates the work that he's done. And until next time, keep it frugal.